Morning guys, on way to a investigation in York this afternoon. We will be returning to the Artful Dodger pub in the city of York, down the bottom of Micklegate, formerly called Walker's Bar, and I think there's maybe a mansion house before that. Last outing there we spent time in the 600-year-old cellar. We had some good findings down there last time in the cellar. Quite a large area actually. It's linked to monks. Before, the monks used to brew ale apparently down there. The cellar by far outweighs the size of the pub, and if we get a chance we'll be going down the cellar again later today. Hiya Sadie, you alright? We will spend it, there's three of us going, there's myself, Louise and Kate. Emma, alright. And we'll be spending the first hour or so upstairs in the pub area itself, where the bar staff say they have seen the spirit of a young girl, which corresponds with our last visit there, where we held a dowsing rod session downstairs in the cellar, and we believed we got in touch with a young girl who we believe to be called Olivia, who possibly lived and died in there with her father. Now, when we said this to the bar staff upstairs, they looked at each other and laughed. That knowing laugh, that knowing smile, if you like. Basically saying, yeah, we've seen the spirit of a young girl up here. And I think the most strangest thing for us is when we were down in the cellar, we were holding a dowsing rod session, calling out, had the spirit box going, and all three girls, being Sarah, Louise and Kate, all experienced strange sensations in the stomach, like a kicking sensation, and it was unusual that they all experienced it at the same time. And we told this to the bar staff upstairs, and he says, well, do you know what happened down there? I says, well, we got told it was the monks brewed beer and stuff down there. And he says, yeah, but do you know the gory details? And we said, well, no, we don't. And that's when he told us that that particular area we're in, where the girls got stomach cramps, was where they once performed illegal abortions. So it was a bit one of them moments where we had a few sideways looks at each other thinking, well, that's a bit strange. I did notice your comment, Sadie, when we're doing investigations with guests. At the moment we've got not planning to do any investigations. Oh shit! Still here. At the moment not planning to do any investigations with guests. It does involve a lot of money and stuff like that. I mean, we're capable of doing it. It's not saying we won't. But like Louise has said, not 100% sure yet. We do prefer the private things and the small things, maybe working for houses, pubs, shops, warehouses, stuff like that. In my honest opinion, I think with the event side, I think you're more focused on giving the guests a good night, and when we do houses and stuff, we have that personal connection with the homeowners, the property, and the pub or shop, whatever it is. Not saying that we aren't doing them. I'll try not to crash, Joe. It obviously fell off the clamp there. But we will see. I'm not sure whether I'll get a decent signal for going live there this afternoon, especially in the cellar, as we are underground. I know Joe mentioned in the chat then about doing the first floor. We've spoke to Gemma there, who's I think she's the landlady. We are doing the bar, we've got the okay to do the cellar, but I believe the first floor, there's a lot of work going on there at the moment. They're converting it into another bar. So we'll see. We're going to be there a few hours, 2 or 3 hours maybe. We'll see what we can get. We will post everything we do get. There will be photos, videos. Can't guarantee a live feed at this time, so stay tuned. Just for those who are out there listening at the moment as well, we will be live on the radio this evening with Tom Warrington and Bio Frankish on the Pure Paranormal Radio Show. I've put a link to it in the Facebook page, so you get to listen to more of me droning on and boring you like I am doing now. But just tune in, it's the two good lads, and it should be interesting. Just an update as well, this Friday evening we will be travelling to Withensea on the east coast near Hull, and we'll be teaming up with another group called North Yorkshire Paranormal Investigations. Have a look at their Facebook page, and we will, I can reveal now, as I will be telling tonight on this evening's radio station, we will be investigating an old lighthouse, and it also has a museum attached to it. And all being well, we'll be doing a Facebook Live from there as well. I did see a comment today about bringing the tribe. Yeah, there was a lot of you from what I remember. Once we're comfortable with doing somewhere for guests, we'll be sure to let you know. As long as you behave and don't freak out like you did at Fort Paul that time. You know, saying that you're all big and hard and not scared of anything, but I proved different. But it'd be good to have you all there. I can't really read your messages at the moment because the phone's by my side now, but I'm sure Louise will keep in touch. I'm going to miss my turn in here. I'll have to take the next one, that's not a problem. Nicky Tooth, which house was it? It was a cleaning house, I think, wasn't it? Where you were cleaning somebody's house. I did speak to her about it, Lou, and I'm not sure whether we'd be allowed with it being, I think it was a lady's husband has passed on or something like that. So whether we'll be allowed there or what, I'm not sure right now. Scream. If you remember, I screamed like a girl also. Well, Sadie, that's because you are a girl, believe it or not. And if you remember that night, you were also with me and Louise in that group, and we freaked you out a bit in the underground tunnel, from what I remember. Anyway, shortly be arriving in York City Centre. I'll have to park up and stuff, obviously. Meeting the two girls there. We're having a walk around the pub, looking around. We may be looking to York itself as well. We do know York quite well. We've done other investigations there. If you look back on our page, we did one at the Guy Fawkes Inn, where Guido Fawkes, Guy Fawkes, was born, at the cottage at the back of the pub. Morning, John boy. So we are always on the lookout for new venues. You tend to find with the big ghost event companies, they do charge a fee, and because we're not a profit-making organisation, we're all self-funded, it can be a little steep for us sometimes. That's the one where they rod at me in the face, yeah. We don't mind paying a couple of £100, but if that's the case, we will get other people on with us, be it other guests or other group, to split the cost. But some of the big venues do charge, say maybe £400–500 sometimes, and a lot of the events companies do make quite a profit off the ticket sales, covering the higher fee, and obviously what's left will go to themselves. We don't make any profit at all. We are self-funded. In fact, it does actually cost us money to do these things, but we do it for love and not money, which is I think where you get the true passion for the paranormal. So we're just arriving in York City Centre, or the outskirts of York, going by the racecourse soon. The racecourse actually, York Knavesmire, may be one to look at in future, because there's the Tyburn there, just off Tadcaster Road, where many outlaws and criminals were hung, including Dick Turpin, who was incarcerated at York Castle Museum, but he was actually hung on the racecourse. Now, where the Tyburn is situated on Tadcaster Road if you walk down it, there's like a concrete platform, a stone platform, and it says that's the Tyburn where they were hung. But it's not actually exactly where they were hung. It was maybe a good 100 metres, 200 metres further in. So you may be talking like in the wooded area below the road, or actually the racecourse green itself where the hangings took place. So a little bit of history lesson there for you. If you do have any buildings, friends may have experienced activity in the house, haunted, supernatural, paranormal activity, give us a shout. Hiya Lauren. Golden Fleece, no. I think with the Golden Fleece we may have to possibly rent a room, I think. Well known for its activity there. I think there's the RAF man that lives there, isn't there? It's definitely one to think about. I did send him a message not so long back, but I think it might be a case of renting a room for the night and work from there, which we could do. That ain't too bad. There's also the Black Swan to look at in York. Peas Home Green, very old. We have contacted a number of properties in York, especially the pubs. Ye Olde Star Inn's one to look at as well. I believe Oliver Cromwell even once stayed there. So like I said, if you do know of any properties, houses, pubs, warehouses, shops, anything that may have activity or people are experienced doing things, give us a shout. And if you can secure that for us, we'll happily take yourself and a guest with us on the night, so you can join us for the night as well. I think that's about it. I best be sensible now and think about parking up. Soon to be arriving within the city walls. Just parked in the racecourse now, York Racecourse, where the Tyburn is. I mean, York itself is quite renowned as being one of the most haunted cities, probably Britain, but maybe the world as well. I was lucky enough to be brought up and raised here, so I'm familiar with a lot of stories. But I mean, there is the famous stories such as the Roman soldiers going through the Guildhall, I think it was. They've also been seen going through the what was the Bar Hotel on Micklegate, which is called something else now. We tend to avoid all the well-known venues, if you like. We try and put other places on the map as well. Hence why I went to the Guy Fawkes Inn and the Artful Dodger, where we're going to now formerly Walker's Bar. There's so many buildings in York that have been stood there for centuries, and people don't realise how old these places are. I think the Dodger itself may have been a mansion house that dates back hundreds of years, and like I said before, the cellar's 600 years old alone, and that's linked to the Holy Trinity Church next door. And the monks brewed ale and stuff down there. Like I said, if you find anywhere, we will travel. We'll cover all of Yorkshire, Lincolnshire. We don't mind going that bit further afield if you know of anywhere we can go to. So just drop us a message on the page, and or message one of us individually, and we'll have a look. We have had a few people contact us too about private investigations at houses. We have done one in down at Nottingham, and it was a fascinating place, all sorts of activity, and we are going back there at the end of May with some new equipment as well. And if you've heard of De Grey Street and 30 East Drive as the famous haunted houses, I don't think they have anything on this house. We haven't done any down the Shambles, Emma. We've contacted a few companies down there, shops and stuff. Obviously Shambles is one of the oldest streets in York. Nothing back from any of them yet. There's one in particular I'd like to get into. I can't remember the name of it as such, but it's where Margaret Clitheroe was executed. You know, St Margaret Clitheroe. She's one of the patron saints, and she was in York. She had a board put on top of her, and I think stone underneath her, and weights were put on top of her, and it crushed her with the weights. Well, that actually happened down Micklegate. I forget which name of the building is, but it's one of these where you can hire it out and have venues there. Hold on, I can't read that, John, right now. Sorry, Treasurer's House, John, not the Guildhall. Yeah, you're right. Harry Martindale. but they've also been seen at the Bar Hotel in York, at top of Micklegate. When I was a kid, my mum and dad used to tell me stories about they knew the landlady there, and the walk through the wall there. Obviously the bar walls, going back centuries and centuries, could be linked to the Romans there. I don't think the Romans actually built them. I think they were a Saxon settlement originally, and they've just been built up over the years.
Peaky Blinders.
That's interesting, Emma. Do you have any contact with them? If perhaps you could put a word in their ear and we'll have a look, and if possible we'll have a look in there and check it out. Like I say, myself and Louise, we went a walk around King's Manor in York City Centre a few weeks ago, which is owned by the university, and it is an old manor house and it dates back to the medieval times. There's monks been there, it was a school for the blind, all sorts really, but unfortunately the powers that be wouldn't let us in. The lady who was in contact there was really keen to get us in, and they were hosting a exhibition on ghosts of King Manor as well, but unfortunately we couldn't secure it. The toffs in the university didn't approve of us being there apparently, but we're always willing to have a look around York. See, I'm passing now the what's this hotel, the Grand Hotel in York, 5-star hotel. Now I've been in there, and that's the old railway office, isn't it? And I bet there's some activity in the... Hold on, I'm at car park now. Oh, bear with me. Press for ticket. Bet you can see right up my nose now, can't you? Ding, 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 ding. Right. Bear with me while I get parked. Where is he? Oh, it's there.
By order of the Peaky Blinders.
Bear with us, folks. I might have to go on roof. Busy in this car park today. This is where we lose viewers because I'm just driving round and round. Alright, I'll have to go on roof, I think. Here we go. For a look.
By order of the Peaky Blinders.
Right, that's the boring bit over. Sorry about that. Right, I'm now parked up in York City Centre. If you can see from up here. See, and that's the Grand Hotel, which used to be the railway offices. It'd be nice to get in there. It's a 5-star establishment though, so I don't think we will. You can see the Minster. Right guys, thanks for watching. I'll try and get some live action later on if we can, not guaranteed. We'll make some videos or pictures, and we'll write about it either tonight or tomorrow. So thanks for watching, see you later.